And then here in Baltimore, so I know a lot of y'all Ravens fans, y'all happy because y'all finally got a dub that after that shellacking that you had the other day, last week. Um,
Yeah, we got Carolina in 2 weeks.
yeah,
At the New Orleans. I was looking at the schedule today.
yeah, New
Yep.
Orleans probably get that shellacking. But basketball season about to come up.
Absolutely. Doubleheader tomorrow night.
Yeah, so
TNT.
I definitely hope that y'all pick y'all teams and don't be on no LeBron bandwagon right now. Pick your team, stay with your team.
And LeBron over in LA having fun, man.
Yeah. Well, let's see how much fun he had when he start choking out these kids. When it really matters and
Oh, yeah.
you 8-36, but
they gonna win 40, man. They gonna win 40
you
games.
gonna take that bet?
Yeah, what you want to bet?
I'll talk about that.
I mean,
We
what
gonna
seed they gonna be in the West? What you got them seeded?
bet. They gonna probably seed probably like 4th.
4th?
Yeah.
And then what you say they ain't gonna what?
That don't really mean nothing.
Yo, they ain't gonna get out the first round. That's what you said.
Yeah, basically.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna bet.
Or LeBron gonna get hurt this year.
Yeah.
Talking the Lakers now?
Yeah.
They going to the finals.
Come on. Here we
They
go.
may not win, but they going to the finals.
Somebody gave this man that Bel Air
Yeah,
cut
you
back
still
there.
got
He
Houston.
tripped. He tripped. He tripped.
Oh, they ain't going last year?
No.
They ain't meet the.
You
No,
still-
LeBron. We just call LeBron.
Oh, LeBron.
LeBron ain't go last year?
Yeah.
Wherever
But he-
LeBron go was going. So
Yeah, LeBron won like the
Miami
last
win.
8 years.
Oh, Ball
Cleveland win.
just got
Lakers gonna go.
Ball got benched. Like, I mean, Lakers.
Yeah, they got a nice squad.
They got
up there,
Rondo. He
You
hit
don't
and miss.
understand. LeBron is a machine. Wherever he go, it's gonna move. It didn't happen.
Hey yo,
I don't have examples.
where Diamond's song at? Make a move at. Where that song at, yo? Cause he tripping.
Yo,
He
I know
tripping.
the West, you know what I'm saying? The West tight.
They
yo.
gonna bring it out the West. They gonna come out
West,
the West.
The West. No, they ain't coming out the West, but it's thick over there, man.
Yo, they cannot beat Golden State or Houston right
Yeah,
now.
I definitely don't got them beating them in 6 or 7 games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
I could see them beating everybody else.
All right,
but-
now we on the same page, man.
Yeah, I could see them beating everybody else in the West right now. I even think that Denver might give them a run for that money a little bit.
What they go in the preseason, like 1-1?
Yeah,
Yeah, I watched that game.
but yeah. And I ain't not gonna talk about
I'm
baseball.
trying to remember all this stuff.
Hey, look, I'm gonna remember it
I'm trying to remember all
when,
this
Just see talking about
when,
baseball.
when they be like, LeBron's frustrated. He want to get out of LA.
And he'll cash in the team and get a whole new team mid-season.
Yeah, you right. You
LeBron.
LeBron fuck around have
He traded the
KD,
whole team.
Boogie. He gonna have KD, Boogie.
I thought Boogie was playing, right? We sure was still hurt.
He still hurt.
Yeah, but he was shooting up and all that.
No factor. No factor.
Oh,
The
all right.
I just had one of them. The guy Lloyd say the Pacers.
What happened?
He said the Pacers. You said what
What
happened?
about
He said they gonna
They a team.
they gonna
Nah,
beat,
but
they
speaking
gonna
of
beat-
basketball news, though. Speaking of basketball news, Paul Allen passed away today. That's the owner
Oh, yeah,
of the
yeah.
Portland Trail
Yeah,
Blazers.
true.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Cuz. Damn. And they definitely trash now. They definitely trash now. Somebody great get traded. But on another note, I'm dedicating the day show to some of our survivors and some of our people that we have lost, you know what I mean, due to breast cancer.
Definitely, man.
And they bring in October domestic violence is part of October too. So
Yeah,
all
yeah.
my people that men and women that domestic, because I know some dudes that got beat up by that lady. So yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. But
Yeah, today also is National Grouch Day. I don't know if you're seeing that around, but
if that
I've
is
seen
if that's
that.
a fact, then that's probably why
Yeah.
they was so mad at work today, yo.
yeah, well they was celebrating you, man, in spirit.
Yeah, they probably was.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I just want to shout out you know, my mom's who passed in 2014, my grandmother who passed from breast cancer, my aunts, and It's not breast cancer, but I want to shout out my man Jamal, who's battling cancer as we speak right now. And he went from battling to walking with a cane to now driving. So, I mean, big ups to him, big homie. Soon you'll be able to go back out. Can't say he had no drinks because I don't know what you probably still be on medication, so I don't want to be no downfall or anything. But yeah, so if y'all want to call in, definitely call in. I left the phone number up on my site. Damn, I forgot the number. 404.
It's 404-436-1277.
Yep. 404-436-1277. So call in, you know, shout out your loved ones that you either lost or, you know, that survived cancer. You dig? But let's talk what I'm here for, man.
What you here for, man?
This
Talk to him, Con, so you got some topics.
So Talk to him, Con is all about the community and some other things. But this Baltimore City Police Department, dude.
Talk about the police.
I'm gonna talk about the police. Like I can definitely talk about it. But they like, is it really that corrupt down in 601 East Fair Street, G? Like,
that's the address?
Yeah, that's the address. That's the address, 601 East Fair Street.
But man, it's terrible, man. I mean, I listen to talk radio in the morning, man, and it's bad, man. They bringing up all of these different consent decrees and commission boards. Is like, you know, how much more regulation do we need in government?
Yeah, so it's like, you know, T.J. Smith steps down, said they didn't even want to give the police department the 5 to 7 years that it takes for him to actually clean it up. Right?
Nah, Tucker said that.
Tucker said that?
Yeah.
They both phony up. But they know that basically, after those 7, now 20 coming, right? For the gun force, the gun people, the gun task force. Now you're leaving because now you think your name gonna come up. And that's how I feel like what's going on. Like that's normally like for any situation. Like if your kids do something and they know their parents on their way home, they're gonna try to leave that area. And then if somebody else in the house, they're gonna blame somebody else.
Yeah.
My daughter will do something and blame my cousin quick. You know what I mean? For the simple fact, like, it's a factor of, oh no, I'm not taking the rap for this. You know what I mean?
Well, what's that saying, man? The apple don't fall from the tree.
So yeah, the apple don't fall
There's a whole
from the
bunch
tree.
of shit going on. Excuse my mouth down there in the apartment, man.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, you took you took that interim promotion to get that money, but when it's time to step in there to be the real deal,
Right.
you out of there.
So what you think they should do? You think they should hire someone from outside the city or bring someone?
See, the
or
thing
hire
is,
someone from inside the department again.
they did it so many times, man. Like when they brought people from California,
Mm-hmm.
and the only thing he did was stop everybody looking at your tattoos and putting you on in fucking file, and you ain't had nothing but a tattoo. You weren't gang banging or none of that. So basically, like, he was trash.
Mm-hmm.
Then he got fired. Then you had the guy from New York come down. He did nothing.
I'm trying to think who you talking about. From New York. I know Bates from California.
Yeah, it was the black guy that came.
Talking about Ham?
Yeah, he was from New York. The one that
right.
beat his girl up, beat his wife up.
All right, I think them. No, I ain't gonna see who it might be or what
Yeah.
it was because that's this
He
media
beat his
and
wife
shit,
up,
but
so yeah, domestic violence week. Yeah, fuck him too. But he left. Well, he got fired.
Well, yeah, he over copping now. As the
Ham.
I think he runs the
Yeah, he runs copping.
yeah, copping security.
Ham.
Yeah.
Case proven.
But I mean, look, man. They said it was alleged that Bates had, violence on the abuse charges and things like that, right? Then you saying that happened? That was alleged.
That was alleged.
So that happens
I
with
can't
Ham.
say that it really happened because it's all gonna be alleged until it's proven.
Yeah.
As long as we keep letting Donald Trump run around going crazy, everything's alleged.
Yeah, you pretty much can get away with anything now, man.
You see how they stopped the Stormy Daniels joint, so yeah, anything's alleged now. So, but
But
yeah, like
you got libel and slander suits.
Yeah, and then it's like, for me, I really think that the Baltimore City Police Department won't get right until more of its own actually want to be part of it.
Man, it's bad, yo.
Yeah, but the point of it is like everybody wants to live a certain lifestyle of Baltimore's name of like, no. And the crazy shit is like everybody taught to stop snitching shit.
Right. That was
But half the city be fucking snitching, yo. Like half the city snitches, and they be like, "Oh, we the city of stop snitching," but shit, you half of y'all snitching, and then trying to still carry this persona of like you're not snitching. But it's like the city has to actually want to change. Like if you go to other states, people from these states or them cities are police officers. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
98% of the Baltimore City Police Department is from like Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, so they ain't even paying.
They don't care. They coming down 83, right? Getting their money,
and going right back up 83. Yeah. So I mean, what impact does that have on policing in the city?
It's basically what you get. The ones that don't care about the city. Like let's take it back. Like when Officer Friendly and shit was like out here. Mm-hmm. And like you actually had officers that the OG officers that you see now that throw parties at the VFW for real. I mean, and they it's a fact. I mean, they at the VFW.
I mean, Conway.
They were.
You think
it
people
was friendly.
Going party with the police?
Yo,
this generation now.
Yes. No why?
Go. Well, you said he was right, look, so yeah, I guess they is one party.
Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck all the way a buck. Yeah. You'll have one of these big festivals, right?
Yeah.
And a police officer is there to like make sure nothing goes crazy at this festival.
Right.
That officer get on stage, everybody there stops mean mugging her and dancing with her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
So you're saying they should have more events
like
that engage the community that involve the police? Like
they used to.
But why can't the community police themselves? Why do we need law enforcement involved with our affairs though?
Well, we don't bring the law enforcement in until we don't like what the next person say now, or you did some dumb shit that now the law had to come around. Like at first, like I used to be able to like, if I see a kid, right, doing something wrong.
Right.
Back when we came up, my aunt would have been like, Cortez, get your ass up this corner. Mm-hmm. Now if you be like, yo.
I don't even think it was like that when we was growing up.
It was, yo, man. Shit. My aunt fucked everybody kid up in the neighborhood, bro.
Well. We only lived a block apart, man.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Everybody in that bitch got fucked up. Like, if she seen something, it was a rap. You know what I mean? Like, and then she went and told your mother or your aunt or whoever, you know what I mean?
But yeah, yo.
But is it, at the end of the day,
I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's like, you can't always think that the police are bad, right? And then be the first person on the phone because now you need them.
Right. All right, yeah.
I mean, it's, and trust me, like I've been through some fucked up shit with them, so I don't even care like about it. But at the end of the day, you gotta wake up and think about like what's really going on. Like I don't like him, right? But I make shit obvious for what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Then like officer friendlies don't come into school, but like that one guy that went viral that was from here as a police officer. He went in and all the kids was dancing with her. So it's not really the kids. It's the kids' parents.
I think we share opposite views on this, Conway.
Yeah, but it's I mean, because you have a view, I have a view.
You suggesting that we had more law enforcement involved in parenting and things like that, right?
Yo, that's what I'm telling you. Like my aunt, like people now will call the police because I said, yo, stop throwing rocks at the car.
Right.
Or they'll try to bring a gun to the shit where it's just a straight conversation that now brings the law. There's no conversation in the neighborhood to keep the law away.
Oh, okay. So that's the only way to resolve the conflict.
Yo, if everybody stopped trying to be tough in the city it'll be a different factor. Like everybody now has a chip on their shoulder for no reason. Everybody walking around like they mad at everything, and you the reason why your shit not the way it's supposed to be worked. Like you mad because you don't got a job, but you don't want to wake up to put that application in.
Well, I had them people call in and ask them, why they got so much steam on their
I want
chest.
y'all to call in for real. Let me know. 404-436-1277. Like, let me know if you feel how I feel. Because at the end of the day, like, I got somebody saying facts on here. Yeah. And I know my man a black boy, you know what I mean? But I'm not going to
Why some people got so much steam on your chest, man?
Yo, I don't know. Because everybody
probably because it's, we living in so
it's a different
poverty-stricken conditions,
It's
man.
a different world now.
Yeah.
Because everybody fucking soft now. Like, everybody, like, no one can... Everybody wants to have, like, this super... Like, even the people that's not like that want to be that. Like, it's so hard. Like, take, like, some people, like, that was just straight book smart, right? Even the people that's book smart now wants to try to show that they have some type of street cred in them now. Like everybody, like that's the only way you get acceptance for some reason from the newer generation. Like,
Yeah.
and that's the fucked up part because now everybody looks for an image instead of their own self to be something. You know what I mean? And it's like the imaging is and the pride, like it's retarded.
Well, pride is one of the deadly sins, man. So,
And it is.
That if they want to be boastful about that, that's how they express themselves.
And at the end of the day, it's like that's why we in a situation where we in, where every day you get on, you wake up, you go to Murder Inc. on Instagram and see if somebody that you know was murdered or if another young person that never even woke up and thought that he was going to see 17 anyway was murdered.
So what's the solution for that, man? We sitting here talking about all the problems.
For me, I really think that now, like, a lot of these people who, like us, like, should start coming back to the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like, start actually doing more things in the neighborhood for these kids, man. Because at the end of the day, like, kids my daughter age and kids that's being born this year is not even going to, like they basically gonna have a point where they're not even gonna be like they not even gonna feel safe to go outside.
Yeah.
To the point where now you got people that's scared to go in a certain neighborhood because they don't know if they're gonna make it to work.
It shouldn't be like that, man.
And it shouldn't.
Shouldn't be.
And like you said, like we should stick together. Yo, back in the day, we did used to stick together.
We did. I mean. This whole
once the wire came out,
whole different times.
That was now the solidification for
the
Baltimore.
wire wasn't even. The wire wasn't even a good representation of the city. I mean, and how people was actually moving. You feel me?
Because at that time, and I'm gonna be honest,
we was still on the block. They was filming the wire. You feel me?
We was on the block when they was filming the wire. But it was like the crazy shit about it is, the wire was put at a time. And brought some facts and some fiction. Yeah. But the fiction part, everybody fell in love with it. Yeah. And now, like, everybody that fell in love with the fiction part, now it's like, yo, I wanna rep this. So, like, you have people that's from Baltimore that go out of town, and when they be like, yo, where you from?
Baltimore, the
they be like, this
like
Baltimore, home of the wire. I'm from Baltimore, home of the wire. I'm from, no, bitch, you from Baltimore, home of the corner. Yeah, you from Baltimore, home of the corner.
Yeah, shout out to the corner.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the corner.
That was the first.
You from Baltimore, home of the Rock. You know what I mean? Charles S. Dutton, nigga.
They made the wire right there on 20th and Boom.
Right.
Right there, back in the day they filmed it.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's like, we'll never get to the point where everybody I'll be at peace now because so many people made so many enemies trying to be something that they not. That now it's a fuck situation.
I didn't even know the city was like that, man, because I ain't in the streets. You feel me? So anything I do know what's going on, I'm reading about it. But y'all gotta get y'all shit together, man.
Yeah,
I ain't
no
gonna
doubt.
sit and sweet talk and shit, but we gotta come together, man.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, I really think that our biggest solution is stop blaming the police department for being corrupt and stop blaming ourselves for helping the police department become the shit that it is today. Because at the end of the day, when we, wake up and say all this bullshit and start feeding our kids with the bullshit, you feeding a generation.
The whole
bullshit.
generation, man.
You know what I mean? Because every officer ain't out there good and every officer ain't out there bad. You know what I mean?
What's crazy is I look at them and say we was just their age, man.
Right.
And that happened so fast, a whole generation.
Now we old.
We old,
as
man.
shit. I see this gray hair. This shit crazy. But I'm going to go to a break for a second. And when I come back in, I'm going to have my next guest up with us and see what he got to say about the city. Yeah. So I'm back today, right now, after a break, and I have to my right Vicious D and his partner,
Randy.
Randy.
Straight Randy.
That's your rap name too?
Randy. Come on.
That shit fire.
The best way to address me, baby. Come on.
Randy.
Let's go.
Fuck. He said my name Randy, bitch. But definitely I wanted to bring these two guys on because they have a song that I heard that I'm like, yo, this shit crazy. It's called Prayer for Baltimore.
Pray for
Pray for
Baltimore.
Pray for Baltimore. My
Yes,
bad.
sir.
I'm fucking that one. I was just listening to it. But the things that y'all saying there, it's factual. You know what I mean? Because for the simple fact, like, a lot of people not trying to really pray for us or the city. You know what I mean? They just trying to feed off of the conviction of being a city of murders and trying to keep up with Chicago and shit like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because when you talk to the young ones, they don't care about none of that shit you talking about, like talk to this man or talk to that man about a situation. They ready to split your head over 2 pills that they just got from fucking stealing from Family Dollar.
We hitting the stage.
You know what I mean? And it's not even coke already. It's
Some burners.
It's some burners, you know what I mean? Or
Meds.
it's Tylenol or Beats. You know what I mean? So,
But they sell drugs at them stores now? Yeah, I've been too far out the mix,
too
man.
far out the mix, bro.
Yeah.
Too far out the mix. Shit real in this field.
Dang.
Yeah, like, first and foremost, I want to introduce yourself. Like, tell them how you got started, dude. I'm not,
By the way, I'm Vicious D.
I don't like that shit either. Like, I don't like saying it.
I started back in, I'm gonna say about 2003. I took it seriously. And
Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, I started back in 2003 when I started taking it seriously. My first song was dedicated to my pops. I lost my pops at a very young age, and from that point, I developed into a group, Double Deuce. We took it from there, got into management. That didn't work out, and now I'm an independent artist again.
Alright, so, like, because a lot of people be like, the management didn't work out and things like that. and you can contest. Like for me, like a lot of times it don't be the management, it be the artist. But for you, I can contest it's.
Yeah, it was a disconnect totally. I mean, I'm not going to blame everything on them. You know, it was just a disconnect between the artist and management. So it was best that we went our separate ways.
True. Now, Randy.
Yes,
Randy.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Randy? But like, how you started into this?
Okay, so here's a little bit of background about me. You know, I grew up mainly in Highlandtown. I started writing when I was like 11. I mean, I'm Dominican. I spent a lot of time in Dominican Republic, a lot of time in New York. I was born in New York, but I lived down here pretty much my whole life. And I don't know, man. I think, you know, just the stuff I was listening to, you know, you're going through stuff, you're an aggressive young man, you just like to hear that rap, you know what I mean? You know, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, Tupac, you know, I'm a 90s dude for real. I still ride listening to that, you know what I mean? So that's my school, and those are my teachers, and that's what inspires me still.
Facts, and I'm happy that you did bring up some legends, and because when you say you rapping the shit that I heard, like you can't really be like on no shit like I'm emerged by like these Quavos and Sajos and Pillars and Dillers and Drillers.
I appreciate all styles of rap. What I just wish is that what they want you to listen to wasn't so mass produced and so done and so copied over and over and over again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I just missed originality and people trying to push the line on being themselves, but being themselves the best way they know how.
I need bars.
He said flat out.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, like when y'all make a track, like do you actually, like how do you, because like a lot of shit you hear now, there's really no substance in it. You know what I mean? It's just like
yeah, man.
The purpose.
Somebody saying something, somebody drop 18 hooks to it, it's catchy for a second, and then next thing you know, I want to hear something else, and then you can't produce it for me. But if you're anything with a substance, always stay along for a long time. Like you can have this moment, but you know what I mean. After this moment, where you at?
All facts. You know, that's why. I mean, I ain't knocking nobody's style of music, but I'm with bars. I'm with bars and creativity, lyricism. You know, the DMXs. You know, that's in my top 5. I'm sorry, he's in my top 5. But
you sound like you Jada Kiss son.
No, I'm not Kiss.
Yo, Kiss son. You have a cold, or that's your voice? Because a lot of people think you probably have a cold. So
that's my voice.
No, he ain't trying neither. He ain't faking the funk. That's his. He can't help it. That's his God-given projection.
Yeah. When I first met D, I was confused because like when I met him, he was in a group, and I just felt like, yo, cuz is like I don't shine on like stand out on nobody, but like cuz outshines like you know how somebody start rapping, he's like fuck, he's like yo, this motherfucker mean.
What you saying performing?
Actually, he came on to another thing I was doing, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I started catching up on them and saying like they was performing on different like stages like DC and things like that, and I'm like, but the person that stood out for me was him because like his voice, his message in every song was crazy.
Salute to Conway for that, bro.
Yo, I be plugging on these real.
I'm very humbled. I let the people talk for me.
I plug only real soldiers, bro. And so like you lived in the Dominican, you know what I mean? So what we gonna do, we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk to you, see what's going on, alright? Alright, we'll be right back.
This for the snotty noses running with old sneaks. throwing rocks, steady fucking with police. And for the homeless in our city that suffer in cold streets, this is Baltimore shit and it's tougher than Monique. You ain't trying to go, you just got a loose jaw on you. Now you froze with a pose cause he put the pause on you. Love life, but I'm inspired by death. They film the wire on our steps like quiet on the set. Meanwhile, niggas was still catching bodies for they set. Everybody's upset and everybody's obsessed with everybody's success. We try to plot and finesse, cause tomorrow ain't promised. You better lock down that check. Every man for himself, we ain't got no respect. Bitch, it ain't no rules, your whole block can get stretched. Cruising over east, in the week getting lit. Remembering 8 students that died over meager shit. I pray for Baltimore, rest in peace to the youth slain in Baltimore. On edge all day in Baltimore, mostly few stay up in Baltimore. I pray for Baltimore, murder every other day in Baltimore. Young hoppers don't play in Baltimore, and the cruddiest cops stay in Baltimore.
The atmosphere is wicked, everybody cold-hearted. The static there is mentioned. Your mind made up if the ratchet near you killing. But old time it was a casket there, you tripping. On the strip like Buttes, getting them pills off won't be a future if the youth is getting killed off. Blame it all on the system, opportunities rare. Plus they steady getting off like cop immunity fair. Be aware, even your own kind of bust you. Everybody's an op till I get time to trust you. Get clapped over a block but don't own it. How the hell you fight for this country but end up homeless? Kinda hard to let it fly when they killed Suda, cause he was set to testify. Screaming fuck the law, make him assault you more. Shit is out of control, please pray for Baltimore.
I pray for Baltimore, rest in peace to the youth slain in Baltimore. On edge all day in Baltimore, mostly few stay up in Baltimore. I pray for Baltimore, murder every other day in Baltimore. Young hoppers don't play in Baltimore, and the cruddiest cops stay in Baltimore. Hospital lobbies constantly crowded, got the feeling that you dying, you better do something about it. Shit, so much illness, they ain't got the space for it. Bet you had bids if you really gave cures. You're very easy going when the family ain't yours. Bitch, I just went on a tangent, I would continue on that, but the school system is backwards. Your kids ain't gotta learn, they don't give a shit, they just pass them. Prone to temper tantrums, give them a pill when they spaz it. I guess that's typical city shit. To some it's a palace, and to others insidious. But if you stay in Locust Point, you don't know how it really get. Crack a blunt and crack a smile, I'm trying to maintain. Hard to fathom the bullshit with the same brain. The city's more diverse, but we ain't changed. In Baltimore, all you gon' hit, bang, bang. I pray for Baltimore, rest in peace to the youth slain in Baltimore. On edge all day in Baltimore, mostly few stay up in Baltimore. I pray for Baltimore, murder every other day in Baltimore. Young hoppers don't play in Baltimore, and the cruddiest cops stay in Baltimore. I pray for Baltimore, rest in peace to the youth slain in Baltimore. On edge all day in Baltimore, mostly few stay up in Baltimore. I pray for Baltimore, murder every other day in Baltimore. Young hoppers don't play in Baltimore, and the cruddiest cops stay in Baltimore.
I'm tired of hearing like the same thing, you feel me?
That's why my tape is called Rap How I Want. It's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Rap How I Want. It's how it's me, baby.
Hey,
You know
what's
what I
going
mean?
on? What's going on? So that's pray for Baltimore, man. Like,
Did they hit?
Did it? They heard it.
Oh, they heard it. How y'all like it? Type 1 if you like it.
Type
Two,
1,
man.
yeah. Put
Yeah.
hearts and all that other shit that y'all doing the emoji thing. So like, how this come about, man? Like, what made y'all want to do this song?
I was at the studio. I went over to the studio, man, and I heard the hook. And I said, yo, it gotta be a remix to this. It gotta be a remix. And my man was like, okay. And he sent me the record because he had his vision of making the Pray for Baltimore his own version of the song for a single. Right. And he was going to do a remix. But I ended up making the original cut because we didn't find another artist that was good caliber to go on the record. Or at least the artist that we had in mind, they wasn't ready.
Right.
So we had to just make it into one whole song instead of two different songs.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes nowadays anyway. Like, you know what I mean, you'll have an artist that you have in mind that you think would fit right for it, but his mind not really right for it.
Well, I think sometimes, you know, people ain't ready to go. Sometimes when you tell, yo, like, you know, it's time to shoot, sometimes they might just not be ready to go ahead and, you know, it might be wrapped up in the other stuff. But yeah, originally I was like, yo, you know what, I'll put you on a remix and then we could do but it didn't make no sense. I was like, look, your verse is very fitting. And then one of my good friends was like, bro, you gotta put another verse on this, man. It's like, look, I wrote 2 16s and I think I said enough. But then I played it, put him on verse number 2, and I was like, you know what, it don't even make sense to make it a remix at this point. I said my piece, my man handled his business in 16 bars. So, you know, kept it like that, and I'm not mad at it at all. He made a great contribution to the song. I mean,
yeah, no doubt. And the good thing about it is, like, when you say Pray for Baltimore, like I said, a lot of people not praying, but then when you listen to the song, is everything that you're talking against what people are glorifying right now. You know what I mean?
They totally glorifying it.
And it's always a good glorifying too. You have to go and see your homeboy, your cousin, your brother, or something like that in a box.
Or your people's OD, or your people's get locked up for how many years. And, you know, everybody try to gloss it up, but it's gritty though. It ain't shiny, it ain't pretty, it ain't nothing sweet about it.
The clouds is dark. Very, very dark. The sun don't shine that often there, baby.
Yeah, you see, it's been gloomy and gray for a long time here in Baltimore in the last couple of days. So definitely been a bad situation on top of a bad situation. Yeah. But it's like you'll never see an outcome until, like I said, we as a people, we as a community stick together. No matter if you in Park Heights, Greenmount, South Baltimore, Pitt, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter, and until then, you're always going to have a bad situation.
Is there plans to do a visual for this?
Yeah.
And bring this to life?
Yeah. This is my single. I got another song that sounds single worthy because it's, you know, it rock. You know, it's a nice song, and I try to rap my ass off on anything I get on anyway. But I feel like this one is more important. This one's more important. There was an idea I had for, and it might still come out, but I feel like this is definitely a #1 priority for my mixtape, Rap How I Want. Be out in about 30 days.
It's the message behind this particular track. I actually love this record. You know what I mean?
So it's called
Pray for Baltimore.
No.
My mixtape, Rap How I Want.
And we gonna drop it in 30 days.
Yeah.
Man, so I definitely gotta hear that, man. So I mean, when he let me hear it outside, I'm like, shorty fire, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Because a lot of times, like, when people let you hear things, it's the same old shit. It's somebody shaking the ass, or somebody fake killing a motherfucker, somebody popping a pill or drinking a lean.
Everybody gangster in the music, man. You know what I mean?
And then when you say that person,
I'll tell you something interesting. You know, I was driving Uber and Lyft for a while, right? And I would play my music for people to see their reactions. Everybody over 23, feeling it. 19 and up, they don't give a fuck what I'm talking
They
about.
used to turn that shit off,
Even
nigga.
listen,
Oh, young boy, nigga.
hold on. Even the songs that I think that they gravitate to, like I got a joint called "Smoke with Me." It's chill. It got a cool ass beat talking about smoking with my ladies. It's laid back, but it still was like.
Yo, because they not smoking with that lady nowadays.
Which is a bit suspect.
They smoking with their homeboys, and they popping a perk with that girl, you dig? So it's a reverse.
You know, the whole rap game changed, man.
Yeah,
locally and, nationally in the mainstream.
It happened right before my eyes. I didn't, before I even got known or anything, I'm 27 years old, and I became an old head in the rap game already. I didn't even see it coming. You know what I mean?
And don't let me see you rock no purse in 2 weeks.
That ain't my style. That ain't my
This
style.
motherfucker on the show, he rocking the purse.
Look, I ain't going shit on the fanny packs. I don't know what they got in there. Maybe it's useful for whatever. I don't know, man.
I seen a nigga fanny pack. I seen a fanny pack. There wasn't no bean in there, nothing. It was straight cash. And he pulled the wallet out.
A wallet inside of a bag.
Yeah, so I mean, no one's getting shot, bro. One, you know they don't have a weapon because the pants too tight. Two, they not running away from shit, so they ain't trying to give me. So you don't have to worry about none of that.
Tired of the skinny jeans, baby. We're tired of the skinny jeans.
I need Hov to come out and really make a song.
Yo, Jay-Z be regulating, man. He need to speak up more often, right?
He the one that got him into the skinny jeans, ain't it?
No, it was
Who was it?
It was Jim
Oh,
Jones.
Jim Jones. Or it came from up New York.
It was definitely killer in there.
Yeah.
Definitely
Killer.
killer in the 12s.
And put the chains on it. You know what I mean?
Jeez, this is
But
crazy.
like, what y'all like? Y'all made the song, but what y'all think the state of Baltimore is in right now? Like, how y'all feel about that?
It's in critical, baby. It's in critical.
Critical condition.
Yes, it's in critical. It's on life support, It's bad. It's that bad. The system, the way the system's set up, it's not set up for you to win, man. I'm just calling it how it is. A lot of these kids out here taking it for granted, man. This system is not set up. Y'all glorifying the killing. They giving you 50 years for that. You crying to the judge once they give you 50 years. And you're not even getting 50, you getting straight life. So you're not even getting a chance to see daylight again, It's just the education, from the educational standpoint, it's failing us, So it's just like domino effect.
Yeah,
It starts with the educational side of things. If they feel like they can dumb everything else down, it's big money in the judicial system.
But the crazy thing about it is they didn't really dumb the school down because they changed the math system. Now the math harder. Yo.
But I'm saying, like, as far
I'm
as
just looking
the
at Jalen work, like, bro, what is this?
as far as how they bouncing back and forth with the requirements to pass and fail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
50,
playing
60 get you in there.
You playing
50 get you in there.
exactly. So you actually playing
50 get you
with
out.
the emotions of these kids. They playing with the emotions, man. So
The work must be harder,
you
right?
talking about a 60 is a D,
yeah.
D plus, man. So that's
I can still go back
it's
to school and
crazy.
get
Bro,
English.
I'm gonna keep it all the way real. I ain't deserved to pass the whole middle school, and when I got to high school, they booted my ass out. I said, he come to school for nothing anyway. Fuck you doing in here?
Yo, they ain't doing
You know
that
what I
no
mean?
more.
If you want to crash and burn, they gonna let you. They ain't got time to be. That's how they carry.
Babysitting.
You know what I mean?
They are letting you go to school to 21, bro. They just ship your ass straight to Harbor City and let you come to school whenever you want. Then you decide to graduate whenever you want. Like, it's motherfuckers 22 in that bitch.
And it's very unfortunate. But they glorify this stuff.
You know,
This
it's
is
crazy.
what they glorify.
A good friend of mine went to Harbor City. He said, "Yo, that shit does not feel like a school when I went in there." He said that shit was the zoo. It was. I'm saying
that's
You gotta
crazy,
keep
man.
in
shooting
mind.
dice, you smoking.
Listen.
It's the block.
Listen, they taking all of listen.
Right there.
Listen,
You know.
That's crazy.
Listen, they taking
For real, though.
they taking all
crazy.
of the troublesome kids.
All
The
right.
kids that's
But not even
19,
that.
20, 21 years old, and they
I'ma tell
dumping
you-
them into one spot. That's like putting everybody in a jail. What you think?
I'ma tell
It's
you,
a lot of
keep-
testosterone.
I'ma keep you
It's a
a
lot of
100
energy.
though.
A lot of
Yeah.
It's not even
bad
a lot of them not just being dumped. Like, a lot of them just was in a fucked up situation with
That
family.
too. So by them being in a messed up situation, what happens? They
You get
still
robbed,
stuck
they
in
go
a
to
certain
school.
category where they being put.
You get robbed in school.
Y'all bring us some interesting perspectives, but let me ask you this: do you guys think that they should have patrolled officers on school property with guns?
I'm gonna say yeah.
Yes. Sad to say yes. That's what we.
Yeah.
I said.
Because
I said
you
we
know
ain't
what?
critical. I just saw
the
it.
truth is
Because
people
they
at
have them
14
on,
is
they have
strapped
them at
in school
elementary and
sometimes.
middle schools, but not high schools.
Right.
Well,
Yep, and high school kids. be
Yeah.
we
strapped.
got.
They the ones that
They don't want to be strapped.
Well, the
You know
elementary
what?
school, they just caught a 9 and 13-year-old 2
Right.
weeks ago. You know what? They had the
Word.
pistols,
Yeah,
let them off in the
they pack
bathroom.
it,
So
What?
that's where we
I
at in
ain't even
today's
hear about that.
That's
society.
crazy.
However, I will bring up another point.
But you know what
And
they do though? Because they hide the shootings that happen in the city too.
this is something that might be off of.
Yeah, that's
target,
another different
but
topic, but yeah.
If
Oh,
Because Harvard City had a shooting.
if we learn to,
Oh, yeah.
if we learn
I
to
didn't hear
police,
about that.
if we learn to police our
I don't
own
live that far
communities,
from
we
That's
wouldn't
crazy
need
because I
police.
said that before you came
We
on.
don't
too,
need, we shouldn't need police officers. You understand what I'm saying? All the stuff that goes on in our community, a lot of it is dictated amongst us. We dictate what goes on in the communities. It's not the police officers
Right,
a lot of
that's-
times.
that's what
So
we
if,
was talking about earlier.
so like
When you was
it
on
comes
the-
down to being able to keep your people in check, so the police don't have to. So I think we have to learn how to take
Like back in the day,
accountability.
niggas used to say, "What you making a block out, right?"
Making a block out.
What was the first for that?
Get that from around here. You feel what I'm
Tell me
saying? You interfering with the money.
when I was
Get that-
14,
And the respect though, and the crazy thing about it is the respect like for the block disappeared because you know we went. If I seen your mother, I never would have. You mean distributed in front of her? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yo, like you'll have this old lady walking up the street in a cane, and they be like,
But you want to
"Shit,
know what's
I'm
the?
gonna
But you,
old lady get the fuck out my way. Let me get
Because
this-
you know
let me
why?
get this
You
on."
want to know why? It's so much of a disconnect between the previous generation and this newer generation. So the younger generation don't want to listen, but it's some of the previous generation that don't want to teach. So you got so many different
Yeah, elements to the
elements
shit.
that's
Yeah.
going on, and it's causing a disconnect. We gotta figure out how to bridge the gap.
well, a lot
guess
of them
what?
ain't around
Who
no
else-
more though, bro.
Who else are the youth
I
gonna
mean-
hold up? Who else are the youth gonna learn from? They learn from the previous generation. Even their teachers
we
when they
did.
go to school,
We
they
did.
learn from people that was already here.
But you gotta think about it when you do that, right? Because I feel like I'm from that generation where we had our OGs like grooming us, right?
Right.
But then when they got locked up or they were murdered behind their homeboys, it was like, shit.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
I'm listening to the shit you telling me to do, but your own peoples don't have loyalty. You know what I mean? So then it's like, all right, when you make up your mind and you like, man, fuck this, you gone. And then when you try to come back and you try to tell them like, yo, I've been down this road, they don't want to hear that. Now I'm going to keep it a buck. Like, I've seen and done things that I'm not going to speak on. You dig what I'm saying?
You should.
But people won't listen to me because they can't pull my case search.
and
But
half
you
the
go
time they
around-
gotta go through it
And-
first.
and-
Look, but you go around my hood and they be like, oh, nah, don't play with cuz.
But
You know what I mean?
see, this generation is more on hand. They gotta see.
They gotta see
They
it.
gotta see
Yeah,
it. You
that's
can't
why
tell them. You
Instagram's
gotta
so
see
popping and
it.
shit.
That's why.
Yeah.
And they just gotta see it, man.
And
You
the
can't
crazy-
tell them nothing.
But the crazy thing about it is, then when they stuck in that situation, then they want you to help them.
Right. They didn't want to listen the first
They
time.
ain't want to listen the first time.
So they put themselves in a situation to come back to the help that they had the first time,
That
but they
makes sense,
refused
man.
it.
So it's always like you said, where's the gap?
But again, these
gonna
kids
gap it?
these days have
Us
been
or them?
served with a China. What I mean a China, this thing I'm holding and record myself, this is what I consider a China. They got everything on a dinner plate, man. Everything.
Yeah, yo.
And guess what? They got smartphones with. When you was coming up, you had to use encyclopedias, right?
Yeah, yo.
So
Yo, we had the encyclopedias in the crib.
Yeah,
yo. Red
dang.
Jones.
Don't say the whole alphabet.
So even if they
Shelf.
even if they don't want to listen to us, they got all the information at the palm of their hands, and they still don't want to listen. They still don't want to read.
And that's the crazy thing about it is like, yo, for me, like that was one of the main things I wanted to do.
That's a good point, bro.
A lot of
young
kids, like people. I ain't gonna say kids, cause like young men, they do fuck with me for real. Cause I'm gonna keep it a buck with them. Like I let them know, like shit.
We
like,
need that.
I can reverse. You know what I mean? Like shit. Like I can reverse. If you want to get yoked out, I can yoke your ass out. If that's how you gonna listen. But a lot of them listen. But a lot of them watch for the simple fact, like I'm gonna keep it a bill with them. Like yo, you gonna die, bro. Especially if I see you like you not built like that. Like you really ready to make that step. You're not even built like that.
And that's
the good thing. You don't have to be built like that. But everybody wants to be accepted.
That's the problem.
To the neighborhood.
You want to be accepted. But if you look at it like this, bro, could you imagine, not you per se, but I'm just putting it out there to the general public. A lot of these kids are really screwed up. You know what I'm saying? You come to your front door every day. You know what I'm saying? You looking at nothing but vacant houses. You looking at nothing but liquor stores. You looking at nothing but people that sell drugs. What else do you have? I'm not trying to take up for them. Right. I'm just talking about what you see in your face. If that's all you see, that's where the phrase "product of my environment" come from. That's all you see. And a lot of these kids are not. Yeah, it's a mental thing, but a lot of these kids are not able to move out of the box. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of them not able to move out this square box. They don't have people that's supporting them to get them away from there, so them to see other things. So if they not seeing anything outside of it, they don't have no help. They don't have no hope. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to Six Flags trips or Kings Dominion or out of town.
Man, a lot
they
of
stuck
don't even
on the same
block.
block.
No, all right. No, hold. When you say that, right? When you think stuck, they in their own block and things like that. That's a fact. But some of these motherfuckers don't. They so scared to go outside.
That's because
now they not an animal no more. Yo. Because they don't have you scared, you scared, and you scared. So if I go to Six Flags, right? I got 100,000 people here, right? And all that tough shit I did down there on Monument Street, not gonna cut because that motherfucker from Northeast DC don't give a fuck. And he brought the chopper for real, and he'll wet that bitch up because he's home. He's only down the street to get away. Mm-hmm. You still gotta go for it.
See, and that's the problem. You should be yourself no matter where you at. But if you're in your environment, I'm the same wherever I go. If I'm in my environment, you got to be who you are.
Some of the toughest dudes in East Baltimore won't go to Delaware with me.
That's because they don't know their environment. You understand what I'm saying?
But
that's why I say you should be who you are. You shouldn't be pretending.
That's when I say the mental come in, because if you're a true hustler, you should
hustle
be
everywhere.
Planted in anywhere like a flower seed, bro, and grow.
All right, so I mean, just to piggyback off this conversation, good topic, but we also here to provide solutions. So what do you suggest to turn some of this stuff around that we see, or the perception that
taking accountability? That's the first step. You know what I'm saying? Because I hear a lot of people come out and point the finger at everybody. I blame the white man for this. I blame of course we can blame somebody, but in the mix of you blaming somebody, you can take accountability for it. You know what I'm saying? The white man don't tell you to go rob nobody. You understand what I'm saying? That's a decision that you made. He just gonna make you pay the consequence. You get what I'm saying? And it's just
my jail just called me.
Oh man, that's crazy. Well, hey, that's real, baby. But I'm just saying though, man, a lot of times we blame everybody else, but we don't never think about or look at what we did to put ourselves in that situation. We always quick to blame the next man. Oh, my boss fired me, but did you say why your boss fired you? Mm-hmm. Was you showing up too late? Was you doing this? Was you doing that? Yeah, so I think that's the very first step. We got to look at ourselves and figure out what can we do. Can we come together? We came together for to tear up the city for a positive cause. Can we come together for something positive? Yeah, I believe we can.
And you're right, and we're about to come to an end soon. So, but definitely, I really think that the biggest solution that everybody set up here is once the city feels though it's time to get together and could start making a change. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at Baltimore of old, where everybody was together, no matter if you didn't, Green Mountain like Park Heights, but when that event came together, it wasn't all this dumb shit. You know what I mean? Right. Like you was able to actually have an event in the city and not think that I'm not gonna make it home. You know what I mean? Facts. So now it's like you make these events and you don't know how it's gonna happen. Like I ain't gonna lie, like I keep shouting out Tyree because like that no shoes on.
Salute to Tyree Coleon, man.
He making shit happen.
And he's not just doing it in the city; he's doing it out the city as well. So he's expanding. Salute to No Shoe Zone.
Yep. Tip my hat off to him.
But definitely, I want
shout out to No Shoe Zone.
I want everybody that was watching to actually think about what we can do. Like, if it is it the faith? Like, I don't care if it's your church, your mosque, because everybody not Christian, everybody not Muslim. You know what I mean? People like your faith, your faith. Can your faith help you? You know what I mean? Can they step in? Because if I can go to church and you can go to your mosque, right? But what are they teaching you outside of that to help the community? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I just feel as though like everybody could come together, faith, come to faith, things like that, and you know what I mean? So just
Totally agree.
I definitely appreciate y'all coming out with me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for having us, man. This definitely deep. It's very deep, man. And
definitely look out for that Pray for Baltimore songs.
Respect Costs Nothing Volume 2 is available, baby.
Where can they find you on social media?
Hard copies. Baltimore Bad News is actually on iTunes right now. You can definitely stream that on Apple Music
and shoot y'all
and
YouTube,
YouTube.
Instagrams and stuff out quick too.
You can follow me at The Real Vicious D on Instagram and Twitter.
You want to be a porn star when
You can follow me at it's Randy Lante. It's spelled RandyLante on Instagram. Randy Morel on Facebook. RandyMorel.
Yeah, AMN Global. AMN Global.
And yeah, you can find me at Talk to Him Con 2 O's Con at 83 Conway all day.
Talk to him, Con.
Yeah.